All right, let's talk more Browns football. We bring in WTAM Browns beat reporter and our third amigo, this man right here, Andre Knott. Andre, before we talk about minicamp,
yes.
Phil Taylor and what it means for this team that he's out, and I know there's hope that he might be back, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah, there's hope, guys, but let's be honest. The position he plays, with what he has to do with 300-pound guys, I don't think it's a positive. I don't think that he's going to be able to come back and play this year. If he played wide receiver, if he played tight end, maybe, but guys, let's be honest. He's in the middle of an offensive line, defensive line, trying to shift and pull and tug guards and centers. I think the other thing that it hurts, I think the Browns have enough depth right now that they'll probably be able to get through. It may not. I think what it's going to do, it's going to hurt in the long run. Think about it, you know, second year for a player that didn't go through an NFL offseason. It's the first time, and maybe that plays into it. I'm not saying something, but you don't know what kind of shape he was in when he came back here. This is the first time he's gone through this. I think that's where you hurt, because everyone tells you the players make the biggest jumps from that first year to that second year, and now he doesn't have it right now.
What does your gut tell you then? One of the rookies fighting for a backup spot at that position?
Yeah, right now, well, Billy Wynn, the kid out of Boise State, is one of the guys that they're going to like. He's big. He would play the position more that Phil Taylor played. Now, the other guy, obviously, is Hughes out of Cincinnati. He's a guy that can take on the double team. And I think having a Taba Rubin, he has some versatility. Yeah. I think what they're going to do, they're going to find out what those two rookies, Wynn and Hughes, where they fit the best, and then you put Rubin at the other spot, because Rubin's, you know, versatile enough that he can play both. It's going to hurt them, but I think that, you know, it makes Tom Heckert look like a genius for going out and getting two defensive linemen in the draft.
All right, take a look at this weekend then. I mean, the knock on Hughes, and it almost bothers me at the point, because we've never seen this guy play a down in the NFL, the takes plays off thing. That's going to go away at some point. All he needs to do is perform. What's the analysis after this weekend?
The analysis is he has the size that you look for first. And I think that's what this weekend is about, guys. Mike, you were out there on Friday. They're not wearing a complete pad. So really you're trying to find out, are these guys smart enough to line up in the right spot, and do they look the part? John Hughes looks the part, guys. He's a wide-bodied guy. I think the thing that helps him, and it helps Wynn too, because Wynn even said this, at Boise State they played multiple defensive fronts. He played in a 3-3, a 3-4, 4-3. So it's, you know, it's not like he's coming in here going, I don't understand the position. There's things both of them like to do, but they both showed versatility this weekend of kind of learning both spots, and I think that'll help him in the long run.
But for this kid, I mean, the heat's got to go. I've never seen a rookie come in and have this many problems before he took one snap, and it's like, part of it is because of where he was picked.
Right.
And you know, it's ridiculous almost at
Part
this point.
of, yeah, it is ridiculous. Part of it is he played with a great defensive lineman on the other side. They got all the love. Now, anyone from Cincinnati that covered him, they said, well, without John Hughes, the Wolf kid doesn't make all the plays. Part of the problem is all of us read these magazines, and these magazines become Bibles. I mean, come on. We all like, I'm one too.
Because we need to talk for 4 months. That's why.
You're
That's
right.
exactly why.
You're right. And I carried mine around like a little nerd and everything else, and you're highlighting things. Well, you know what? Those magazines don't draft players.
That's true.
Guys that, you know, and the Browns visited, I was told the Browns visited with John Hughes at least 5 to 6 times before the draft. When you visit with a guy that many times, you like him, there's something about you that want him. Now, he's going to have to go out and make plays, but the Browns like him. Let's see if he can play.
Let's go to the offensive side of the ball. Everybody pretty much knew what you're going to get with Trent Richardson when you take the guy at 3, but I think a lot of people are pleasantly surprised by Brandon Weeden. I mean, we've heard so much about him, hey, what happened, but when you get out there and see him, and I know he's throwing against air and all that stuff, but a lot of good things were said about him.
A lot of good things. And the first thing you say is you see him throwing the football, he's wearing number 3, and everybody goes, oh, big arm, you know, and it's like, and I had guys on Twitter like killing me today.
Derek Anderson.
Yeah, and I'm going, okay, I'm sorry. He's tall and he wears number 3 and he can throw the football. I apologize. That reminds you of someone else. But that's what he can do. He does have a little bit of touch. He had a comment, I want to say, on Friday where he said, well, you know, because they were talking about the clay pigeon thing, the sports, the sports center thing. Sports science thing, excuse me. And he goes, well, you know, when a guy comes out of his break, I try to throw the Nike sign check on his arm. And I'm not that old. I'm going, how can you even see that 15 yards down the field? It just tells you, like, how smart he is and just, you know, how he thinks about it. He had a throw on Saturday where he rolled out to his left, and he threw off his back foot, guys, about 25 yards down the field, a complete rope. He hits Josh Cooper, the kid that he played with at Oklahoma State that he obviously is very comfortable with. That, and then the day they did red zone stuff, and he has that look. And I know it's early, and I'm not going to go too far, but he throws ball. He threw a couple slants today in between a linebacker and where a corner is at, and the window is about this big, and the ball's right there on the guy's face. Now, he's got a lot of more things he's going to have to learn. He fumbled some snaps Friday and Saturday. Today, he was clean. You didn't even know that he was in a shotgun all of his career. And the best thing about him, Mike, after I talked to him today, he goes, "It's a pretty nice day. I think I'm going to go golf." He's a guy.
And he's comfortable under center. He said that again. He kind of dispelled all that.
Right.
And just think, if he would have played for the Red Sox, he'd be in trouble. But since he played for the Yankees, he's in much better shape. Hey, the other thing about him, though, is the way he talks and the way he carries himself. And just watching what I watched this weekend and listening to him, this kid is not the right word.
We can't call him. No.
There's no way. He's not a rookie. He really is, other than playing time.
Playing time. But, you know, I said this, and I don't want to say mocked the Browns, but they kept saying he was so mature when they talked to him. And I kept going, well, no kidding, he's 28. But then after I sat and talked to him a couple times, I go, he's pretty mature. And I think the other thing is, I think for guys like Joe Thomas, you know, Alex Mack, guys, for the first time, they're going to look, number one, they're going to look the quarterback in the eye. But number two, he's going to look at a guy that's the same age of him, that has the same urgency. I think sometimes when you come in at 22, 23, it's easy to get caught up in, you know, buying new cars, getting a new house, you know, taking care of, where this guy has kind of done some of those things, and he knows he's got to win right now.
Because of the age, it's almost like he was traded. I mean, it's like he was traded here and not drafted.
Yeah, no, you're right.
He'll probably carry that respect as long as he can contribute on the field.
As long as he shows up and he works hard. I think the guys are going to treat him and respect him that way, because I think that's how we naturally are anywhere. You respect the guy towards how he acts. I think the other thing is, I don't see it as a competition. I know that the Browns, they went on their media blitz this week, and I thought it was cool that they did it. Let's be honest. He's 28 years old, 29 in October. They drafted him number 22. There's no real competition. The competition basically is Brandon Weeden, don't fall on your face. Don't embarrass yourself over the first, you know, week or so of training camp, and the job's going to be his. And after this weekend, I can understand why.
Well, and we got to talk about Trent Richardson. And we've all been here since the Browns have come back. But have you ever heard, guys, a guy called freak and beast when describing a Browns running back in the history of the Browns since they've come back?
Guys, they haven't had a running back like this, and you don't want to go all the way back. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, when you look at him, and now the only normal thing about Trent Richardson is he's 5'9". Everything else is unbelievable. Like, I think Brandon Weeden said on Friday, he goes, he's really good. By today, he goes, he's a beast. He goes, he's 5'9", and he runs like he's 300 pounds. And the other thing is his mentality. He wants to be great. And, you know, some people take that as cocky sometimes and arrogant. It doesn't come off as cocky and arrogant with him. He's just the way he says it, the way he carries himself. He looks you now and he goes, I want to be great. And the other thing is, on Friday, he goes, look, everything I did at Alabama was awesome. I'm not there anymore. I want to do something here. And the kid to watch out, and you just throw this out there, Brad Smelly, he's the guy, the fullback at Alabama, and they're roommating right now in Berea. He caught every pass that was thrown to him. I just think there may be a way to find him on the roster come September.
All right, let me throw one more question at you, and you brought this up a little bit ago. Pat Shurmur and Mike Holmgren were out in the media full force over this last week. This, from a PR standpoint, looks like a different team just in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know what the fans think, and I know you'll find out in your radio shows and yours as well.
And yours as well.
All of us, we're going to find out over the next couple of weeks. I thought what they did, Andy, was something that was needed to be done. I think I heard the interview you had with Coach Shurmur. I know he's been, you know, all over, but we were able to kind of see him as a person. And I know that, and we're all the same. We all go out to different places, and everybody kind of reacts off that first year Pat Shurmur had. I think this last week, you throw the draft in, and then you throw this last week of really the Browns kind of opening up the door, going, here's our head coach, here is our general manager, here is our president. I hope it changes the thought process for a lot of people of who these guys are, because I'll be honest, I don't think a lot of us knew Pat Shurmur today, and I think he even said, you know, we've asked him over the weekend, and he goes, I didn't get to do this stuff last year. This is also new to me. You know, there were times last year we would ask him about Evan Moore, and he'd go, you know more about Evan Moore than I do. And we would laugh, but we really did. And I think he's a little bit more comfortable, and I hope that it helps him as a coach, because it seems like the mentality around here is a run a coach as soon as they don't win enough games.
Fans just want to feel like they're involved, they're engaged, and they feel like they're getting the truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's the bottom
And I think
line.
you get that from Pat. I don't know what they're going to do, win or loss, but I think he's a guy that would sit down at the corner bar, and he'd probably sit with you, and you would enjoy a conversation with you. And I don't think we had that feeling with him last year. And Mike Holmgren kind of said that he kind of stayed in the background last year because he didn't want to step on the toes of his head coach. I mean, let's be honest. This thing is being built, so Tom Hecker can become a president, and and that Pat can be here for a long time. I don't know if that'll happen, but I think that's the setup.
Good. Let's hope that Mike is handing out the playoff tickets before Tom.
Don't you get in line with me first.
Andre, thank you very much.
No problem. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, too.